Life on earth is shit because, first of all, churches are shit, teeming with hypocrites like those Pharisees who just, lay their burdens onto you, so you bear their burdens instead. They tell you not to sin, not to indulge yourself with habitual sins. Yet they themselves keep sinning and sinning over and over. And on the other hand, people around you tend to suck more often than not, than you do. That's basically why I decided to cut all ties with them, including those so-called Christian brothers and sisters. Since they can't help you with shit. They can't you can't learn shite from them either. Sorry, just trying to be more British. And yes, I don't reckon it constitutes a sin to just swear, to resent certain people, such as those who continue to hurt you, to haunt and haunt you. I suppose it's okay to resent them, to stay away from them. To keep your distance from them as much as possible. Unless you want to get more hurt, you want to get yourself more hurt, more damaged, maybe therefore losing your sanity by delivering a crippling blow to that person's head. Unless you want that to happen. My best advice for you is to keep your distance, to stay away from those people. While so doing, it pretty much makes it impossible for you not to resent them, right? So how can you forgive someone who is who hounds for your life, who falsely accuse you for more times than you can care to remember, who continues to harass and to harass you and everyone who has anything to do with you, so long as she can get her hands on the contact list, the phone numbers, the emails. So I had no choice but to block her email, her phone number, yes, her other accounts of social media. I used to cut her some slack by keeping her in my LinkedIn and email contact list, though after my old man passed away, she shortly after such event, you know, it all turned ugly and quite violent. That's why, yeah, that's probably why I had to depart from my grandma's residence in the first place. Because I fear I might just, you know, lose control and you know, use the kitchen knife to chop my grandma, to chop pretty much everyone that has anything to do with me. And somehow I begin to resent pretty much each and every one of them without myself, without even myself knowing about it. Having having conscious or awareness of it, of such fact that I just can't you know, live with them anymore, and can't have anything to do with them anymore. Yeah, so in, you know, really concerning my symptoms, I consulted with those so-called priests, you know, Christian brothers and sisters, you know, and so on, and you know, the list can go on and on, and so far none of them gave me any straightforward solution or answer to the questions and doubts I've been having about the Bible, especially those that concerns with forgiveness, resentment, you know, or you know, whether you know, whether we should hate certain people, you know, with good reasons, of course, as Christians. Well, in fact, I begin to have doubts whether I am truly saved, I am truly Christian, or otherwise. So, and in fact, the Bible, somewhere on the Bible, also says, do not be wise in your own opinion. So how can we know anything? You know, how can we know anything with absolute certainty, including the fact that that those who truly believe in God will go to heaven? You know, how can we be absolutely certain? Do we have any hard evidence to substantiate such claim, except the Bible, except the Bible and a handful of witnesses who claim to, you know, to resurrect from, you know, from death, you know, or from those allegedly reported near-death experiences whatsoever, or something like those, you know, those unexplained phenomena. Yeah, so it's pretty much bullshit. Yeah, the way I perceive them is pretty much bullshit. So everything in this world is shit. It is shit, man. I just have nothing nothing more decent or exquisite to describe the current rotten and decaying world, and its associated people. That kind of makes me firm and convinced about the book of Revelation, at least, and those four gospel, those four gospel books, and anything else, and everything else about the Bible, perhaps they have been, someone might have altered them to satisfy their own needs and other contemplations, even conspiracies. Yeah, so how should I put it? Especially I have managed to discover several key differences between I managed to discover several key differences in terms of phonology and the way how those verses convey different meanings from one another, according to several distinct versions of the Bible, such as the famous and probably also the notoriously difficult version of the Bible, KJV, King James Version, from the NIV, New International Version. I can't remember the exact verses that I found quite perplexing and kind of contradictory between the KJV and the NIV and some other versions like the New Living Translation, NLT. Yeah. So Jesus. So what do we do about it? What should we do about it? As red pill, as Jews who believe that we ourselves have been red pilled. The more the more wisdom we attempt to acquire, the more confused we become, and the more helpless, at least I become. Jesus. And yeah, to make the matters worse, I also missed a scheduled voice call with one of my subscribers on YouTube. Due to my own stupidity and confusion about the time zone differences, but between Northeast America and China. Jesus, how stupid I've become due to prolonged self-indulgence of fapping and laziness and all thanks to those Shite. I can't get piece of shit done without having to drink anything that contains caffeine, or else, or else I just, I just have to remain a mindless piece of rotten flesh, fapping, fapping, oversleeping, and still several other things remain that can make me feel pleasurable, eating, hibernating, fapping, and gaming. Sometimes a bit of a work, so long as I can, concentrate, or else I just, I found myself, more and more resembling to the mindless husks in Mass Effect trilogy, the classic trilogy, yeah. Because you won't find any husks in Mass Effect Andromeda. So yeah, so maybe I have been indoctrinated after all. No matter how many times or how hard I tried to deny, to deny how vulnerable I have become. Those struggles inside my mind and soul. And I have pretty much utterly no one to talk to about those symptoms, those hallucinations, or it's not. Maybe it's not hallucination because I don't perceive those, those scenes of murder, those scenery of committing suicide with my eyes, but I know they just, they just keep haunting me inside my mind, and so via some sort of telepathic or something. Yes, it's all it all feels as if some sort of apparition event, apparition phenomena has been taking place inside my freaking brain. Yeah, and and nobody actually gives a shit about it. That's pretty depressing, yeah. So the only, which makes me even more convinced, about nihilism, more and more convinced about nihilism than Christianity. So I really want to say that, want to just shout Christianity sucks. Christianity is such a piece of shite. Religions are all shite. They all suck. Because they belong to this world. Both the this current physical realm, this current physical world that we can perceive using our five senses, plus the spiritual realm that the majority of human beings don't see, or at least don't usually see. They may on some occasions become manifest under certain conditions, such as when someone whom you used to hold dearest passed away, and for some reason part of that deceased person's soul somehow telepath or just or you got yourself infected by some of the deceased person's spirits or mindset, whichever way you prefer to name it. It just I can testify such the authenticity of such phenomena. Or at least so I believe and can perceive it does happen to me, and it is currently happening right now. Yeah, so I also hate to discourage you with this video about any hope you might have had, but before you somehow browse the interweb and found this particular video that tells you the world truly sucks. The world is shit. Your life is shit, and everything that's associated with your life sucks like shit. Sucks as shit, because they are shite. They are shit. Because they won't exist for eternity. And on the other hand, but besides, they create, they exist to create nothing but more disappointment and distress and destruction. They do not exist as as any entity that can bring more productive element to the entire cosmos. Such as women, yeah. Name me. Try to name me. Top 5 women who actually made some major contributions to the very existence, the very sustainability of the entire humanity. Name me top 5 women who actually have did something to strengthen and perpetuate humanity and humanity's civilization, technology, survivability, etc. None. At least so far I can find none. Yeah, so yeah, I don't want to bore you anymore with specific examples and arguments about why I reckon women exist as one of the major destructive force and hazardous elements of the entire cosmos. So just never mind. I'm just gonna give you one specific example about my argument anyway. So try to recall, try to re-evaluate, try to think, try to reconsider why you want to become successful, why you want to make plenty of money, to do what, to fulfill what purpose. I suppose it goes without saying that the vast majority of my male audiences, including subscribers or non-subscribers, they make money. They want to become successful so that well, more often than not, they want to please people who they don't quite like, with whom they don't quite enjoy spending time, and well, except except you just want to get yourself laid, you want to use your success, you use your fame as leverage to lure them, I mean those women, onto your bed, and then do the thing that you always thirst for. Yeah, so and more importantly, I also want you guys to reconsider the repercussions of the aftermath of becoming successful and famous. Yes, you surplus amount or excessive levels of success can bring you nothing pleasurable but envy from others. Don't try to deny that. Don't try to deny my red pills here by rebuking that. Well, most people are kind. Most people they just they won't get envious of your success, of your fame. Well, they do. The fact is they do. Even I do. Even I tend to get quite envious of somebody else's success. I do too. I admire those YouTubers who and I also envy them as much as I admire them. Those YouTubers who create fewer videos yet have more subscribers than I do, who put in seemingly less amount of effort yet still manage to generate more views, more more profit than I do. Yeah, well, in fact, my YouTube channel that does not earn me any money. I just opened my YouTube channel to, you know, the most primary objective associated with my YouTube channel, you know, is to overcome my stuttering, and on the other hand, to overcome a bit of a social anxiety. Though I don't believe I have any more social anxieties ever since I got to know ever since I got to know Uncle Grant Cardone via YouTube by watching, you know, how he cold called his potential clients. Yeah, and you know, ever since then I no longer, you know, fear getting in, you know, contact with other people. Though I may still get lazy about it. Though I still, well, I can't say I have rendered myself impervious to more fear, to more worries about whether I could, you know, mess up a situation, or an encounter with, you know, with people, especially my potential clients, any potential friendship. But you know, I no longer wish to gain any sort of friendship with human individuals. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I still have social anxieties, right? And I don't actually reckon that Daniel, you know, the host of the channel Hiding in My Room, has social anxiety. Maybe he's just, you know, whinging about people like I do here, right now, right here. Yeah. Who knows with absolute certainty, except God Almighty Himself, right? What do you guys reckon? Tell me about it. Regardless, yeah. My plans for tomorrow. It is already tomorrow. In fact, it's already nearly it's already 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. So, and I still have utterly no sleepiness. I still have utterly no sleepiness whatsoever. And you know, even at this very moment. Yeah. Jesus. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verses 2. Verse 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 2. Meaningless, meaningless. Utterly meaningless. Everything is just meaningless. Yeah. Shit. Life is shit. Yeah. People are shit. Religions are shit. Churches are shit. And you and me are shit. Everything is shit. Everything is shite except Jesus. Yeah. Cheers and good night. Thank you for watching. And see you next time on YouTube. Bye bye.